Hey you guys, it's Annabelle, and this week's Girl Talk home activity is going to be a little different. So it's less of an arts and crafts and it's more of an activity that I'm going to lead you through. So for this activity, you are going to need some supplies, however. So it's going to be a jar, and I'm using this mason jar, but if you don't have a jar, you can use like a glass, you can use like a bucket or like a hat, like literally anything that you can just use to hold sheets of paper. So I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to use these scissors to cut out strips of paper that I'm then going to write on with a pencil. So if you want to follow along with today's activity, you just need a jar, scissors, paper, and then a pencil. So you can pause the video, go grab those supplies, and then we can complete this activity together. So you've grabbed your supplies, and now we will move into the actual explanation of the activity that we're going to do together today. So today we're going to be making assertion jars. So you might have heard of positive affirmation jars, and that's when you write something positive and uplifting that you might want to read in the future at a time where you're not feeling great and you're not feeling so good. And then you go to your affirmation jar and you pull out a statement that your past self wrote to you to help you feel more uplifted and just feel better about whatever's going on. So, assertion jars are similar in that in assertion jar, you're going to write statements that are going to help you speak up for yourself and for others in the future when you're feeling like you're unsure of what to say or how to do that. So I think, especially as a kid, it's really hard to speak up for yourself just because of the influence of your peers and also the influence of adults. I mean, adults are always telling you what to do, and you might feel like you can't speak up against an adult, but I just want to encourage you to use this assertion jar activity to kind of think about ways in which you might speak up for yourself, even with a teacher if they say something that doesn't sit right with you, or especially a peer if they say something doesn't sit right with you, they say something about someone else and you want to speak out for that person. Your assertion jar is going to be a really handy tool to remind you that you have the right to stand up for yourself and you have a right to stand up for other people. So the first thing that I wanted to do was have you guys say out loud the Assertiveness Bill of Rights. So I'm going to read a line and then I want you to repeat that back to me. So I'll pause after I read the line and then I want you to read that back to me. So I know it's kind of weird because it's a video and we're not live, but if we were in person at the club, I would have us all read this together. I want you to repeat after me. This is the Assertiveness Bill of Rights. And to be assertive means to be very confident and forceful in what you're saying. And I really want you guys as kids to know that you have the right to be assertive, especially in situations where you feel like things aren't fair or you feel like people are being hurtful towards others. So here is the Assertiveness Bill of Rights. So I want you to repeat after me. I have the right to say no, be treated with respect, express my needs, feelings, thoughts, and ideas, be proud of my accomplishments, disagree with others, feel and express anger, get help when I need it, feel supported. So now that you've said your Assertiveness Bill of Rights, we can move into cutting up little strips of paper that we can write the Assertiveness Bill of Rights on if we want to put that in our jar, or we can also write things that we can say in the future in situations where we want to be assertive. So we will work on that next. Okay, so I have now cut up some strips of paper and I'm going to write some of the things that I want to have in my assertion jar so we can kind of do this together. So one thing that I definitely want to have in my assertion jar is that I have the right to feel respected by my peers and the adults in my life. So that one definitely goes for you guys. Not only should you be respected by your peers, but you should also be respected by all of the adults in your life. So teachers, anyone that you associate with at the club, like everyone that you come into contact with you have the right to feel respected by that person. So I'm definitely going to write that one. Another one that I am going to say is this is something that you can use if you feel like someone has said something that just affected you negatively. So if in that case, you can put this in your assertion jar and it says, what you said the other day didn't sit right with me, and I'd like to let you know how it has affected me. So that's another one that you guys can use in just an instance where someone has offended you or hurt your feelings. You have the right to stand up for yourself and let that person know that they had an impact on you when they said that. And you can also use this in the scenario where you know a friend has been impacted by something and they don't feel comfortable speaking up. You can speak up for them. So I think that's a really important one. And also feel free to pause the video and replay these ones if you want to use the ones I'm using. If you want to come up with assertions on your own, that's totally fine. I'm just using ones that I'm definitely going to put in my jar to remind me of holding myself accountable to be assertive, and also knowing that it's important that I express this towards young kids, that they can also be assertive. So I'm making my own assertion jar just for those reasons. Here's another one. I have the right to feel angry about this. Another one, I have the right to feel sad about this. So that kind of goes back to our Assertiveness Bill of Rights, where we said, I have the right to express my needs, feelings, thoughts, and ideas. So any feeling that you're having, you have the right to have that feeling, and you have the right to express it and seek support for that feeling. So I would definitely write those ones in your assertion jar. I think those would be good to remember. So I think that's a good start, and you can work on those, and then we can move on to the next part. Okay, so once you have all of the assertions that you want to write and put in your jar, just so you know, you can always add to your assertion jar if you're feeling like, I need more assertion statements for times when I need to say no to my friend for something. Because I think that's another thing, is that we have a really hard time saying no to our friends because we always want to make them happy and we always want to keep those friendships. But there's nothing wrong with telling a friend that no, you don't want to FaceTime today just because you need a break from technology. No, I can't help you with your homework today. I really want to, but I'm feeling really stressed about my homework and I need to make sure that I get my homework done. And then if I have time, I'm happy to reach out to you about that. So really just setting boundaries for yourself with your friends and with adults. I know that's a hard one, but I promise you there are adults out there who will listen to you and who will respect your boundaries and fight for those boundaries for you too. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me that you guys took the time to watch this, and I hope that this assertion jar can come in handy for you and can make you feel more confident about standing your ground and standing up for yourself. Take care of yourselves and keep an eye out for next week's Girl Talk home activity.